The message of the resurrection is beautiful, and as you know, the resurrection message is also a mysterious message in that no one has seen the resurrection of Jesus. And because no one has seen Jesus' resurrection, we have to listen to what Jesus himself says about it. I, for my part, start with Jesus' message right from the beginning of his ministry, and for that, I start especially with the Gospel of St. Mark, the first of the Synoptic Gospels, the earliest of the Gospels to speak about the life of Jesus. And right in the very first chapter, in the initial verses, when Jesus calls his disciples, he says to them, "Come, and I will make you fishers of men." To me, this phrase is the essential phrase for Jesus when we speak about resurrection, because when we look at that verse in the original Greek, the word that Jesus uses when he says to cast out the nets, "I will make you fishers of men, I will make you casters of nets," the verb in Greek is the Greek verb aphiemi. And it's interesting when we look at the verb aphiemi really means in Greek as a secondary meaning to forgive. So Jesus is actually saying to us, "Come, and I will make you forgivers of men and women. I will make you reconcilers of men and women." So for me, this is an essential part of Jesus' definition, the way he talks about his own ministry, and what he would like us to do as followers, which is to be reconcilers of a world that has been hurt in so many ways, reconcilers of a world that has been wounded. So the resurrection means that Jesus is slowly, I hope, transforming us as we hear this invitation to get to know him better. It means that we let go of our human perspectives more and more. We try to see other people. We try to see life as a return to the person of Jesus. And we try to have this bigger, broader perspective. And so we say, I know that Jesus wants me to be more loving. Jesus invites me to be more patient, kinder, more generous. This is the perspective of Jesus. And slowly Jesus transforms us, even to the point of eventually conquering our greatest fear, which is our limitation in death. And Jesus even shows us a way beyond the flesh to the eternity of the life with the Father and the communion of saints. And this is true cause for happiness. And it's a happiness and a hope that begins now, continues through our whole lives, and then extends on into infinity. And I think that's the beauty of the message. It starts right away, it's practical, and it continues all the way till the end of time, if you will, and beyond. And that's being with Jesus, this constant love of the Lord that never abandons us. And as he says, then as we hear this in Mark's Gospel, I choose to be someone who reconciles the problems and the difficulties of life. So when he speaks about his life after the death and then into the resurrection, Jesus speaks of himself as being this Son of Man. So I think what Jesus is saying to us is that his life on earth is this life of reconciliation, this life of bringing together people who have been wounded in a sense, and bringing them the joy and the hope of the gospel. And this is the good news. And Jesus is inviting us to follow him in a very special way by choosing, first of all, to be healed by him ourselves. This is the point of the resurrection. And especially, I think, Jesus is saying, it's not just about the resuscitation of the dead human body. It's about a whole process of life that starts when we first come to know Jesus. If we notice in the New Testament also, when Jesus speaks about heaven, Jesus always speaks about heaven as being with him. It's not really a place per se, it's about being with him. So it's this lifelong process of being with Jesus, meeting Jesus, being healed by Jesus, helping Jesus to heal others, to take on the problems of the world. And then especially, I think Jesus says, it's not just about making this dead flesh come to life, but it's also the resurrection that gives us a brand new spiritual body. So it's Jesus saying, I'm going to take you away from all of the problems of life eventually. I'm bringing you to a better place, which is the eternal life with the Father. And this gives us great hope. So it means Jesus says, I will never abandon you. I'm with you from the beginning of time until the end of time. And that's the resurrection. And that's why we're resurrection people, people of the Easter season.